Hey, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Town of Port Royal's July 8th, 2026, 6:30 p.m. council meeting here in the Yvonne C. Butler Council Chambers, of course, at 700 Paris Avenue. I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Start off, as we always do, with the great Pledge of Allegiance. Councilman Owen, do you want to lead?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sure.
Invocation, please.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for the many blessings of life. And Lord, thank you for this opportunity that you give us to gather to do the business of our town. Lord, be with each person here tonight. Help us to have the words, the wisdom, and discernment to make the decisions that are pleasing in your sight. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right.
Get to work.
Up first, we've got, of course, our approval of minutes. We've got minutes from the Budget Workshop 3 of June 3rd, 2026, minutes from the public hearing of June 3rd, 2026, minutes from the Council Workshop of June 3rd, 2026, and minutes from the Council meeting of June 10th, 2026. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Any corrections, deletions, subtractions?
No, sir.
No, sir.
All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All right, up first, we got a proclamation. Are you ready, Ms. Queen? Yes. Okay, all right. Up first, as we do every year, 2026 Gullah Geechee Nation Appreciation. I will go ahead and read the proclamation. And I'll let you come up, and then we'll come down and take a picture with you. How's that sound? All right, perfect.
You can come on up to the stand if you like. Yeah. Come up to the podium if you would, please. Want to make sure everybody sees you.
All right, I'm going to try and read some of this. Gullah Geechee Nation Appreciation Week 2026 Proclamation. Whereas the town of Port Royal was founded in 1562, and whereas the founding native Gullah Geechees were here in this coastal region and our state, and whereas the Gullah Geechee have been essential to the cultural fabric of our community, and whereas we have celebrated their contribution by actively being a part of Gullah Geechee Nation Appreciation Week since 2014, and whereas 2026 marks St. Helena Island's own Chiefess Queen Quet's 26th anniversary as head Pundabodi, all right, buddy, sorry, of the Gullah Geechee Nation. Whereas Queen Quet has led the movement to protect Gullah Geechee culture, human rights, land and water rights for over 4 decades, during which she founded the Gullah Geechee Sea Island Coalition. And whereas the Gullah Geechee Sea Island Coalition was the first organization in world history to have Gullah Geechee in its name. And whereas the Gullah Geechee Sea Island Coalition continues to forward the mission of the Gullah Geechee Nation, and whereas this is the 30th anniversary of the Gullah Geechee Sea Island Coalition, now therefore I, Kevin Phillips of the Town of Port Royal Town Council, do hereby proclaim July 25th through August 1st, 2026 as Gullah Geechee Nation Appreciation Week 2026, and call upon all of our citizens to practice in celebrating the week in support of the activities happening locally and throughout the region under the theme, Hunna must take Kaya de root for la tree.
For healing tree.
For healing tree. All right, I tried. I'm sorry, Queen. You forgive me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, well, thank you so much. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I thought Mr. Mayor been going sing fa la 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 la. I thought I would have been going there for me
I would
this
try that
evening.
one, yes.
Yes, so thank you one more time, Mayor, Town of Port Royal, the council, the whole, everybody with DI. I feel like these are neighbors now. It's these familiar faces from the past few years and things like that. We drove back up from the town of Fernandina Beach to make sure we was back in the town of Port Royal on time and walked in right on time.
Yes, ma'am.
So thank you for celebrating with we one more again. And Hunter Chillin, this year, we going to be right back at Penn Center. Dr. Adams ain't want to let me go. I guess you got something to do with that too. He ain't want me for more Gullah Geechee Family Days. So this year, we are having Gullah Geechee Family Weekend on St. Helena Island. The last Friday in this month, we will be at the Dr. York W. Bailey Museum at 6 p.m. that evening with our Gullah Geechee Create artists. And you all might remember that you all had your previous mayor unveiled, you remember that day, unveiled the alligator that had trash in it. And so then I went over to Europe, and in Greece, they had a dolphin like that with trash in it.
Yeah.
So I took a picture by it, and I told them about what the town of Port Royal had done. So the work that we've been doing for the past 3 years with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration and our South Carolina Sea Grant partners is we have a group of artists that are Gullah Geechee and African American artists from around the state, mostly from our coast, that have upcycled the debris that we've collected from our coastlines into artwork. And so CREATE stands for Coastal Removal Engaging Artists Through Environment. And so I came up with that name and offered it to Sea Grant because when I'm at the United Nations, I've seen various things that people have done to make sure that these plastics and other harmful things don't go back into our environment. So we're going to have a Gullah Geechee CREATE artist reception where you can meet many of them. And we're going to auction some of their art that night at the Dr. York W. Bailey Museum, and a portion of what we get from the auction and art sales will go back to Penn Center so that we can keep the art programs or start some new ones even there at Penn Center. And then on Saturday from noon to 3, we'll be across the campus at Frizzell Hall. And I know there's also the Water Festival going on. For one time, we're all doing this all together.
Good day.
And so I said, no problem. They can come to us 12 to 3, and they can still make it back over to the town of Beaufort and celebrate there as well. So we hope that y'all will get on a nice boat, come on over to St. Helena from Port Royal, dock right there at Penn Center, come on up, celebrate with us, travel back and go.
The dock is closed
I
temporarily.
see, I wasn't going to say nothing. I'm about to tell them they can go down on the landing bar.
Once we get up there, yeah.
Y'all can still handle
gotta
it.
figure it out.
You know how we do it. Y'all figure it out. We have landings. We have these docks. You know that. We grew up with landings.
Right, we know how to handle it.
We know how to handle it. And so definitely it'd be wonderful to come out that way and then celebrate there with us and then back on the water all together, closing out that weekend. And so it's always an honor to be able to be here in this Port Royal and then travel around the world and see other Port Royals, but none look like ours. All right?
Amen.
So I'm looking forward to continuing to work with you all and to celebrate what you're doing here in this town. So on behalf of all the Gullah Geechee Nation, we say thank you, and I'm going to give the clerk y'all's invitations so it can get passed around, and look forward to seeing y'all on St. Alnala.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank y'all so
Absolutely.
much.
Thank you.
And we get a shot, we get our
Yeah, I want to ask
photo.
a question, though. Robert.
Yes, sir.
Y'all got any questions for the Queen?
No, sir.
How does that, I mean,
I grew up with her. So.
I know, so
And he can contact me anytime.
you've been doing this for 4 decades.
Yes, so 4.5 almost now,
Let's say you
fighting for
started
Gullah
when you
Geechee
were-
culture in particular.
Started when you were 2 or 3 years old?
I would start when I was 1.
Okay,
When I
got
first
it.
started
I got
talking.
you.
No, I don't count those years, but
So
yes.
What's something we can do as a town to support you guys more and support your organization more and the Sea Island Coalition? What do you need from us?
Ooh, listen. You know, of course, every organization will say money, but but my thing is even more than money is to actually be able to bring more awareness about the Gullah Geechee culture in this town, because too many people actually drive through Port Royal and don't even know they're driving through Port Royal. And we've talked about it, but it hasn't happened yet. We've talked about having a Gullah Geechee Day in Port Royal and actually having a celebration here, because this town is too critical. The Emancipation Oak is here.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? We also have a market, and most of us don't know where it is. That's to the ancestors here in Port Royal. And I can't wait for y'all to do something with that beautiful dock area that people can really celebrate there, so they really grasp how many native Gullah Geechees worked at the dry dock over here. You see, people talk about the one on Paris Island and don't realize what was going on right here, much less the shrimpers that are here. So we would love to work with you and collaborate on having a celebration, but also bringing more highlights to some of the key things that I see that you've done in this town. Like I mentioned, that alligator. I was here for the unveiling, but how many people know that alligator's there?
Right.
Or they see it, do they realize what it really represents? So we could have a Gullah Geechee Create Day here. I'd love to do that. I'm really hurt that the shed is not the shed anymore, because I keep saying to Kwame, I would have loved to do a Gullah Geechee show in there again, because I did many years ago and had a very nice turnout. So we'd love to work with you with that, and even your speed limit change. A lot of people, I know about it because we were here. when you voted it in.
Mm-hmm.
But how many other people think about it or know about it, even if they come into the town? They just wonder, y'all are strange. Why is your number like that?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So I think that there should be a lot more publicity around this town and its historical, cultural connections, and especially to Gullah Geechees. And you know, I'm willing to work with y'all anytime.
That's
Just
good to
call
know.
on me.
And I hope you know, anytime you got anything that you're promoting, you need us to,
Help.
anything we can do to help spread your word or what you're
I see
doing,
y'all
let us
do
know.
that. Y'all show up. I
Yes,
give
ma'am.
y'all that. I see all the different functions we have, and I appreciate it. I truly do.
Well, yes,
Thanks.
ma'am. All right, we'll come down and get a photo with you.
Thanks.
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll have to have lunch so we can talk over what to do next.
Yes, ma'am. No, never.
Man, you ain't kidding. You about to fall out.
Everybody ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, yes. We can do that for sure. Yes, you too. And y'all stay cool and hydrated. Good to see you. Yes, and you too. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
All right. Let's do one more round of applause for Queen Quet and the Sea Island Coalition. All she does for the community. Like I said, that's quite a legacy. So up next, we got an introduction. Community Development Planner, Mr. Zachary Ford. Come on down.
Well, we are thrilled to introduce Zachary Ford to our Fort Royal team. He's our new community development planner. He comes from Myrtle Beach and is a recent graduate from Clemson, and I think he'll have a little bit more to tell you guys about.
When did you start?
Probably a month ago now,
Okay.
June 8th.
Okay,
So,
great. That's awesome. Yeah, so yeah, please tell us a little bit about you. I ran into Mr. Ford at the Northern Regional Plan meeting, and we're just kind of chatting about Fort Royal and his background a little bit. But yeah, please share with everybody, and absolutely.
yeah, so my background is educationally from school, but then outside of school, I'm from Myrtle Beach. I got my undergrad in architecture there. Started in 2019 and graduated that in 2023 of fall. And then I went back that following fall in 2024 and started in the landscape architecture program. So I graduated that this past May. And with the job process, I was kind of looking for something that I could blend both backgrounds with. And then also an area that resembled Myrtle Beach. So coastal town, have that coastal feel, access to the beach, water activities, seafood, kind of that vibe. That brought me down to the job opening. I saw that. I didn't really know much about Port Royal. I had been in the Beaufort area playing baseball a few times growing up. But yeah, that brought me to the job opening. I thought that the planning role would help me kind of blend those backgrounds together. And after I got started here, I realized that it would allow me to get my hands in the long-range planning for the town, but then also the building permits and development permits and kind of making sure people are following that. I think so far it's good. I'm grasping and learning very quickly that this town is much different from Myrtle Beach in a good way. People care a little bit more. I can see it's more of a community feel. Obviously, it's a lot smaller, so that benefits that and helps that out. But so far, I think it's been really good, and I'm motivated to help progress it, but then also keep the character of what has already been built here. So.
Yeah, anything from council?
No, welcome. I'm talking to you in the hall for a good little bit, and I want to say welcome to Port Royal. If there's anything we can do, let us know, and go Tigers.
Welcome aboard. From council?
Welcome aboard.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure as you've seen, for a town of 16,000 residents, we run a pretty tight crew. So I know you'll stay busy. I know they probably already got a mound of work that gets you to just jump right in and get your hands dirty. So that's awesome. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. I'm sure Noah's excited. And the
You
whole
see that
staff.
smile on his
So
face
Look
over
at him, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to help
You've
you
been
out.
putting him to work?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, great.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Ford. Absolutely, we really appreciate being here, being part of the team, being part of the family, so thank you.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Zach.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, up next on the agenda, we did have the Dragon Boat Buford was going to be here, give us a little update about the event. Had some scheduling conflict, something came up, so we're going to have that next month. I will say, though, on the record, I thought the event was great. That was so much fun.
Very well
I
organized.
heard a lot of great comments from people. Really good competition out there on the water. I heard the last race came down to like at 0.4 of a second between first and second place, so it was a battle out there. They had a great time. So thank you to Dragon Boat Buford, and we look forward to hearing from them when they can make it, hopefully next month. So up next, council briefing.
Van did a thorough review of the council briefing, but if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer anything that I can.
Anything from council?
No, sir.
Only thing I was going to say, I know we had, and we mentioned it last week, I didn't know if we could, the skate park cleanup and the team that did that, and
So Jeff actually came by. He was going to say a few words, but we asked him to come back for next
So
month
we'll have
because
him
we
next
had
month.
something scheduled.
perfect,
so-
yep, that was just going to bring it, because I know we'd mentioned that and didn't want to forget about that, because they did such a great job.
They
And wanted
did.
to make sure they get in here and get some recognition for that, that's great when, yeah, and the community got together, police were out there cooking hot dogs, it was great, and it looks great, gone by a few times, it
Really
looks really,
does.
really good. You want to reiterate, we mentioned it last week, but the good news about our shrimp dock that we learned last Wednesday?
The town has received the permit to start work. So right now, we're in the process of working with ATM to get an RFP put together, so that way we can start getting some bids and start constructing.
Yeah, that was, I wanted to mention that again, just because Van kind of slipped that one in there. last council
It's like
briefing,
last minute.
and I was like, it's a big deal, just to kind of say in a passing comment, so. So we finally got the Corps of Engineers permit, so now we had from the South Carolina Department of Environmental Services, used to be DHEC. We've got our state permit, got our federal permit, and now he said we'll be going up to bid here soon for that, so that's exciting. I was just gonna ask, July 4th, I thought that went well. I didn't know if you had any updates or anything, or just, I mean, everything I heard in the fireworks show was great. I'm not gonna lie, they shut off 2 and then it paused for a second, heart dropped, but they got it right back on track.
I was on the phone with him. He's like, is it all right if I test them out? I'm like, you might as well test them, make sure this is going to go, because
Yes.
I don't want to hear
So
anything
a few went
afterwards.
off and then it stopped and it, it took me back, to that one. But then, like I said, that finale was huge and everybody loved it. They did a great job. So, and the police were out there.
The
You
cheers,
guys,
just hearing
everybody.
all those cheers, that's.
Fire department was there.
Everybody,
Everybody
absolutely.
was there supporting.
It was a great team effort.
And
So-
all
And the
day
crowd was
Staff.
phenomenal, the crowd, oh my goodness.
It doesn't, I did want to say thank you, Beaufort County, for allowing getting us the Palmetto Breeze bus. That was the first time we ever had a shuttle, so we'll probably.
Trolley.
Yeah, the trolley, yeah, so we're always, looking at ways that we can, it's so many people and it's so hot, how we can move people in and move people out safely, and so that was the county, let us use from 3 to 7. We had that trolley, Palmetto Breeze, so that was nice for people that needed and wanted that. But again, overall, I thought just a great performance by the town and all of our first responders. So I just want to mention that. But yeah, that was it. Anything else?
No, it was a great event.
All right. Public comment. This public comment is for items that are on agenda items. Mrs. Cat Gray.
I'll just be quick. But first of all, can I just say, because I know the chief is here, thank you so much to the police and the fire for July 4th. And we're on 11th Street, Chief, and I'm
Queen
telling
Quet.
you, it was so wonderful to have that blocked off because of that curve. Kids, they were playing ball,
Oh,
they were,
that's
it
awesome.
was just so wonderful. Thank you so much. You all were sweating out there and worked hard. On my agenda item, it comes down to the electric bikes. And I'm not sure exactly what's going to be passed. But my question is, will that be allowed on the boardwalk and in the wetlands? Because I did come across 2 at the wetlands the other day with photographers out, with kids out, with strollers, and they came whizzing in, stopped, and I said, there are a whole lot of people out there. Oh, no, took off. So I'm just wondering if that's going to be allowed or not be
Is that
allowed.
considered a sidewalk?
It will not be
It is not
allowed.
allowed, so they're,
Will there be signage?
yeah, we can get some,
Okay.
look into that. But yeah, so that, they were doing something they were not supposed to be doing, so. Yes. But, because, yeah, the entire idea behind this was to keep them and pedestrians separate.
Right.
And so
Right.
that was the whole idea. So, yeah, so they were, you know, but yes, absolutely. Answer your question, short answer, no.
And if you call the chief, I promise you he will catch them. And the only reason I say it.
Promise.
Well, chief, you caught the two for me. Because I had that same experience as them riding behind me and I didn't go fast enough because our speed limit's only 21.
Yeah.
And they cut in front of me, cut off, went down the sidewalk, cut back
Hey.
in front of the road.
Is he
And
right
he
there?
could have killed somebody. And he,
Boardwalks are scary.
so I called him and they came running out and he caught him.
Section 1, electric bicycles shall not be operated on multi-use paths or sidewalks unless specifically authorized by the town. So, yeah. Okay? Speaking of ordinances, we'll get into second readings. That was all the comments I had for agenda items. Second readings, 2026-12, an ordinance to rezone approximately .18 acres of real estate described as Beaufort County Tax District 110, map 10, parcel 136, located in Beaufort County, South Carolina, to be rezoned from T5 Main Street to T4 Urban Center, rezone of 10-5 16th Street.
So moved.
Okay.
Second?
Any discussions or anything? I know we talked about it, public hearings, first readings.
No, sir.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, ordinance 2026-13, an ordinance to amend section 4.120, applicability of the Development Code of the Town of Port Royal, South Carolina. Now entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
Okay, again, this has been discussed at public hearings, first readings. Any discussion from council at this point?
No, sir.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ordinance 2026-14, ordinance to amend Chapter 19 of the Code of Ordinance of the Town of Port Royal, South Carolina, to amend the definition of electric bicycles, e-bikes, to clarify their status under the town regulations, and to provide for their safe operation within the town.
I'll move that we approve 2026-14.
Second.
Any discussion, any comments?
I only have a comment for it, Mayor. What I will say is that this ordinance is going to be successful or not based on the amount of education that we provide and adherence to code, obviously, but one of the things that I'll ask the town is for a little bit of grace as everybody learns to understand that. Usually e-bikers and e-scooter guys, they come from outside of the area, so it's not like our ordinance is posted
Yeah.
on the wall. So instead of taking those things into your own hands, please don't, just like Mary Beth said, give the police department a call on their non-emergency line, just say, hey, this is what it looks like, and then they'll send somebody pretty quick for you. But a lot of it's going to be based on the amount of grace and
Well,
the
they'd be gone by the
level
time
of
the
community that we
officers
exercise to enforce this.
Absolutely.
They'll be gone by the time the officer gets there. So.
Well,
Yeah, very rarely will they get out of here, because London's a long road, no matter how you look at it.
And it's
That's a long road, and they're not going to go down Paris all the way, because they got to have some good shots. And my truck can't get through that right now. Those bikes are not going to make it through there,
nope.
so.
All right. Any further discussion?
Oh, thank you for that, Mayor.
Yeah, of course. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
2026-15, an ordinance to authorize the town manager to convey excess real property to facilitate construction of sidewalks within the town described as Beaufort County Tax District 110, map 11, parcel 092D, better yet known as 814 11th Street, approximately 76 feet of sidewalk.
I'll move that we approve 2026-15.
Second.
All those. Any discussion about the sidewalk? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, getting more sidewalks. Up next, we've got first readings on a few. A couple of these are just in title only to be moved to the planning commission. But up first is 2026-16, an ordinance annexing to the town Port Royal approximately .176 acres of real estate located in Beaufort County described as Beaufort County Tax District 100, map 31, parcel 1B, located at 132 Castle Rock Road. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All right, any discussion? And seeing this is first reading, no, if you could, I know we talked about it, public hearing, just kind of
Sure, yeah.
what we're looking at.
So this is one of 3 parcels owned by, under the same ownership at that intersection of Castle Rock Road and Robert Smalls Parkway. It is within the growth boundary for the town, and actually, all of the property on that west side of Castle Rock Road surrounding this property is already incorporated into the town. And the planning
Not
commission-
quite a donut.
Not quite a donut,
but
no.
almost.
Yep.
Okay. And just so people understand, when we mention that phrase, that's something we say, you hear at council conferences and stuff, that when you talk about donuts, it's basically areas within towns that are not annexed into town, and everywhere around there is annexed in. It really can create some issues when it talks about service providers, is that, what fire truck goes there, what police department goes there, when you're surrounded by a municipality, but the center part's not. So, all right, well, any discussion, questions for Noah? No? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. An ordinance to zone approximately .76 acres of real estate located in Beaufort County described as Beaufort County Tax District 100, map 31, parcel 1B in Beaufort County, South Carolina, to be zoned T4 Neighborhood Center open. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All right. I'm guessing the zoning around there is what the zone?
Yeah, so everything in pink, south of where the property is with the arrow pointing to it, is the same neighborhood center open zoning. Again, same ownership, so this will give them the ability to have one uniform zoning as they look at development options for that property. And then the neighboring, on the west and the north, are both neighborhoods that are in the town of Port Royal. So neighborhood center open is meant to be more commercial uses that serve those adjacent communities.
Perfect. All right, any discussion or questions for Noah? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, 2026-18, an ordinance annexing to the town of Port Royal .57 acres of real estate located in Beaufort County described as Beaufort County Tax District 100, map 31C, parcel 15 and 16, located at 3013 Elm Street and 3016 Cherry Boulevard. Again, this one was in title only, so I'm guessing this will go to the planning commission after this.
Correct.
All right, yeah, if you just, well, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All right, now that we're in discussion, I kind of jumped the gun on that. You, yeah.
Sure. So this one is coming in title only before planning commission. It's just a timing issue with the applicant and the timeline that they needed to keep to in order to annex into the town. It is within the growth boundary, so the property to the north of the green parcel is within the town. That's Keith's Plumbing, and across Paris Island Gateway is the old Beeper Mobile Home Park. Just for context, Pinckney Retreat, the entrance to Pinckney Retreat is just north of what you can see in this map. So Sky City, the food truck court, is to the south of this. Again, within the growth boundary, and the planning commission will give a recommendation prior to second reading.
Sure. All right, any other, any discussion or questions for Noah?
No, sir.
Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, up next, 2026-19, to zone approximately .57 acres of real estate located in Beaufort County described as Beaufort County Tax District 100, map 31C, and parcels 15 and 16 in Beaufort County, South Carolina, to be zoned as T4 Neighborhood Center. So I see those are on a, pretty heavy commercial corridor. What,
Yeah, so the parcels are oriented in a way that, they were originally part of the subdivision there, which I think it's Cherry Hill Estates or something like that. And so because those parcels were part of that subdivision, the intent of the applicant is to develop single-family homes that match the existing neighborhood. And so neighborhood center makes the most sense. The parcel that you can just see north there, that's Keith's Plumbing, is actually the same zoning. And then there's urban center across the street. So there is an opportunity to see some more commercial development in this section of the corridor, but these parcels, due to the depth, the development would need to front the two neighborhood streets rather than the highway. And so that's why we're looking at a more neighborhood, single-family zoning.
okay. Is the T4 Neighborhood Center, is that pretty similar to what it is
Yes.
under the county,
So,
whatever the county is right now?
yeah, it's pretty comparable. So it's a community neighborhood mixed use, I think is the name for the county zoning. So it's pretty well aligned with what we allow in T4 and C. So.
Okay. All right, any questions for Noah?
That neighborhood behind it, to the right of it, is that still within the county, correct?
Yes, every other property within that neighborhood is still within the
So
county.
it's just the highway
It is within
portion.
our growth boundary, but none has been annexed.
But it'd be interesting.
This
to
would
see.
allow us the opportunity to have more adjacency to those homes and eventually continue to fill gaps within our growth boundary.
Gotcha.
Any more questions, anything for Noah?
No, sir.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
This, 2026-20, an ordinance to rezone approximately 25.22 acres of real estate described as Beaufort County Tax District 112, map 30, parcels 3A located in Beaufort County, South Carolina, to be rezoned from planned unit development to T4 Neighborhood Center and T4 Neighborhood Center open rezone of 337 Savannah Highway and 873 Robert Smalls Parkway. Again, this is in title only. What are we looking at here?
So moved.
Oh, yeah.
Second.
Discussion.
So this is in title only for a different reason than the previous. I don't like to make it a habit to do that for things that need to go to the planning commission, but this is a special case. So there's two reasons for the rezoning that's being proposed. It's staff initiated, so there's still work to be done to go out and talk to one of the two property owners. The property in green is Park at Broad River. That is currently in a PUD with the property in blue, which is vacant. Because the property in green is completely built out, there is no real reason for it to continue to be a PUD. That's not a type of zoning that we allow in our code anymore and hasn't been for 10 years. And so to kind of move away from that practice that isn't really considered a best practice anymore is a good benefit from this. The blue property is currently part of an application for the Green Space Program, the Beaufort County Green Space Program. And so we went to one committee meeting with them. It seems to be that the best route for the town to have an acceptable application is to go with a view corridor application rather than a planned unit development buy-down, which is what it would have been under the PUD zoning. And so we're taking that step to rezone the property out of PUD to allow us to change the application come the July Green Space Committee meeting. So.
And did they require that, or is it suggested it? They were kind of...
It was not required, no.
Okay,
We had
gotcha.
multiple options of how to move
Okay.
forward, and this seemed to be the best path forward.
So, and just so everybody knows, so if you remember a couple years back, the Beaufort County had $100 million raised for the conservation penny that they raised in 2 years. I think it was actually done in less than 2 years. And they've been, municipalities, Beaufort County have been submitting applications. The town now has 2 applications in front of that committee to try and pull back some of those development rights and conserve some land. And so this property right here, we thought would be really important. Reached out, talked to that property owner, because it's right there when you come across the bridge, And so we talked about how do we preserve that vista, that natural look. And so, again, we've been going through that process. Noah went to the committee meeting. This property was presented, and again, there were some issues with it being in a planned unit development. And so all we're doing right now is just trying to pull it out of that to make that process smoother, because we're very hopeful that Beaufort County, the committee is just a recommending body. They hear your application, they make a recommendation, and it goes to county council, and they're the final vote on it. So hopefully, we'll get a good recommendation from the Green Space Committee, and it'd be great if county council approves that when it gets in front of them. So thank you all for getting on it. Like you said, I know the deadline's the end of this month, right?
Oh, it's the deadline we had to do this before the 17th.
Okay, yeah. So
With the
yeah.
meetings on the 17th, I have to wrap all of that up tomorrow.
So
for the
9
committee,
days, exactly. So I
yeah.
appreciate y'all figuring it out, getting creative, and
It was perfect timing for us to
figuring out a way
keep
to get
going.
it done.
So.
And hopefully we have a good hearing with them. And if you know anybody on the Beaufort County Green Space Committee, please reach out to them on the behalf of the town of Port Royal. Let them know that there's been some applications approved. It's not a contest, but south of the Broad, these are the only 2 we've submitted for the town. So we'd like to see some of that money that was raised go around the county. So hopefully we can get this done. But that's what we're doing. Just I wanted to say that because it's a big piece of property, and I want people to see and think what they're talking about. All we're trying to do is really conserve it. So.
I don't know if we mentioned last week, Mayor, but the property across the highway as you go down towards the boat landing, the closest property to the boat landing as you head down, is also being applied.
That's in front of them as well.
Has an application in as well. So could really create that natural gateway into the town rather than the first thing you see coming across the bridge being a built-up area.
I just wanted to try and clarify that, because,
We can stop that at this point.
yeah, I was just trying to clarify that, because you see 25.2 acres, or what are they plan in this,
Yeah.
and I didn't want anybody, we're trying to conserve it. That's what we're trying to do, just put a conservation easement on it. We need, of course, the money from the green space penny to do it, and hopefully we're successful. So, any discussion or questions from
I
council?
just want to make a comment. I think it's a great entrance to Port Royal, and I remember a discussion several years ago where they wanted to put billboards on that property. Electronic billboards, do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
As you come into Port Royal, so
Welcome
I'm
to
glad
town.
to see that this use is the direction in which we're going in.
Yes, sir, absolutely, we completely agree. I mean, like I said,
Save some
you
green.
come over that bridge, and that's like the first view you get coming into Port Royal, and then, the city of Beaufort, and so.
I too support that also, because, when you want to preserve the land, particularly the view, the river view, and also create more public space also, without, the possibility of development and so forth, because he talked about the billboard, but then also there was a proposed hotel to go there as well. And all of that would contaminate the environment and so forth, so I do support this type of an initiative.
There's been proposed billboards, hotel, gas station. We think it'd be a nice conservation easement on it. It's
Amen.
actually, speaking of with Queen Quet, there's actually there's a cemetery in that little
Cemetery,
spot.
right.
Well,
between-
yeah,
right
I have a
between-
family in
Yeah,
that cemetery.
exactly right
yes,
there, between
yes.
those parcels are a historic cemetery as well, so. So I just wanted to clarify, like I said, it's big numbers, big acreage, I just wanted to kind of clear that up a little bit, so. Any other questions for staff?
No, sir.
Okay, well, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Good luck tomorrow on getting everything in. Okay, up next, we've got important dates. Brooke, if you want to go over those.
Saturday, July 11th, 2026 is the YMCA Family Day 5K Color Run here in Port Royal at 9 a.m. Saturday, July 18th, 2026, Beaufort Waterfest Raft Race at Sands Beach, and that will begin at 8:30 and should approximately go till noon. The landing will remain open, so boaters will still be able to use it. Monday, July 27th, 2026, Planning Commission meeting at 5 p.m. And then Friday, July 30th, 2026, Port Royal Artist Incubator Space Open Studio from 4 to 7.
Yeah.
Are we doing something with that? Is that the first time we're opening that side up?
Yeah, it's kind of like the grand opening. Wendy's working on her exhibits. They're going to move paintings over and kind of make it open for the public and everybody to come check that out. So, yeah, I encourage everybody to come out. We've had 4 artists in there. They've been working hard, and it's really great space if you can go over in there. And I encourage everybody to also reach out to Wendy, get your photos taken. I think one of our council members did that
I've done it also.
earlier today.
I did mine.
You got yours done?
I did it on Monday.
I'm the closest to her, and I still haven't.
Yeah.
What? I feel guilty. I like
You
real
should
bad.
feel guilty.
She gonna fight me next time she sees me.
Shame
But
on you.
we just want everybody to come out, support that, support the arts here locally, and it's kind of a great initiative, very unique to
So
the
if you all
town.
haven't done it, go out there and make an appointment with Wendy to
Get
get
your
your
photos.
photos taken.
And she wants to talk to you about what you feel about Port Royal, what's happened, and how things have changed, and anything you want to tell her about it, because the whole collage is going to be about the people and their
Port-
perspective of Port Royal and where we came from.
She's calling it a cool coastal
So-
community
And it's cool, coastal, and human,
and human. So there you go, so check it out.
so
Um,
please.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other dates or anything
Go on, done that.
we got to add on? Any dates? Council members, you all good?
Good, thanks, man.
Okay, all right. Up next, public comment. We've got a public comment here for a non-agenda item. Mr. Neil Puglisi, sorry.
Plug is good,
I
Mayor.
know, I want to be respectful.
No, that's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, thank you very much for allowing me to chat with you tonight. Formal introduction, I have taken on an additional role, and that is to be the liaison for Parris Island to the community, and I am just so thrilled to come back to the Marine Corps and work with the Marine Corps and be the liaison for the community. It's sort of like coming back home again. Of course, Port Royal is a little bit more than just a neighbor. It's like family. It always has been. And, an example of that, of course, is the living shoreline. You supported the living shoreline, and that has been a tremendous success. so far. We're having an in-stride brief on the living shoreline on the 30th of July, where we're going to demonstrate exactly the success that we've had out there. Marsh grass is beginning to grow again. We're having more marsh that's coming on, and so that has been a tremendous success. We think that that is going to be kind of a case exemplar up and down the eastern seaboard, according to the researchers that have put the stuff in between DNR, the university, SC7, GEA. It's just been a fantastic, and we could not have done it without Port Royal and the assistance of staff. So thank you very much. We're showing the legislature that those military enhancement funds for $5.4 million, they were put to good use, and they're having a no-kidding impact. And in the words of Governor McMaster, as a result of doing the living shoreline and the oyster reefs, Parris Island is going nowhere for the next 100 years. And so we firmly believe that. It's good to have a point of contact from Marine Corps Matters of Sergeant Major Guerrero, retired Sergeant Major Guerrero, another one of the family here, to have someone who we can increase that relationship with, because Parris Island, we don't want less engagement, we want more engagement. And we intend on having more engagement over a wide variety of matters, everything from parades to get-togethers to special events. And I will tell you, and I know the hours getting on, and you guys run an efficient council, I will tell you that right now. You run a very, very efficient council, so good on you. Next 11 weeks, we've got graduations every single week. This is the busiest time of year. So we're going to hit a clip, go over 50%, 52%, 55% of our total recruits on deck during June, July, August, and September. So this is a busy, busy time of year for us, which means it's a busy, busy, busy time of year for everybody. The next thing that I'd probably offer up here is that the state of South Carolina is going to be putting out their economic impact. What economic impact does the Tri-Command have on the local community? I think that is going to come in at a very, very big number. So it was, I want to say, somewhere in excess of $2.3, $2.4 billion annually. I think that number is going to go. I think that number is going to go way up. South Carolina has been very, very friendly to veterans. Veterans are coming in here all the time, and it shows. So we see that in our population growth. But anyway, thank you very much for the work that you've done with us thus far and in the future here. And is there any questions that you've got for me?
No, sir.
Any pending legislation questions, anything like that?
I want to say just thank you for your willingness to, I know I can get a hold of you at any time, and every time I call you, you pick up, so I always appreciate that, so.
Well, you're like I am. And that's, you're a compass guy, not a clock guy.
Yeah.
So, wherever the compass takes you, hey, that's where you go, not some arbitrary numbers on a clock.
I appreciate it.
So thank you very much.
No, thank you.
You bet.
Thanks, Bud. Appreciate you, sir.
Absolutely. And I know we talked about that at the last meeting, so I think we'll get something on the agenda for August, make it official.
Awesome. Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. Up next, council comment. I'll start on my right.
Awesome. Yeah, I got a couple things. Well, actually, I got one thing, two things. Thanks, Pug, for showing up, man. I appreciate it. And again, being in a room and having the habla about it, to be able to regurgitate that information to the council and to the town, the community, to see what it looks like, what it feels like, why it's doing the thing it's doing, is extremely critical for us to be able to better plan and to be able to absorb the impact that it's going to have on us, because it always has an impact, and sometimes it comes as a surprise, but it's been communicated in military terms. So I think being in those rooms again is going to be important for us to be successful together, and we look forward to that. And then the second thing is just July 4th. Man, I'll tell you, I've been really tired in my life in certain aspects, but man, Sunday morning was a different day. It was a wonderful day, and there's several people we got to thank for that. And we started with the police department and the fire department, and that is not ever going to be understated here. Their patience, chief, their compassion, their sense of community bled onto every visitor that was here that day. They were here from the morning. I got here at 10:30, 11 o'clock. those guys were running, they were doing things already, getting people into the know on what was happening on what roads, so the residents knew exactly what was about to happen, heck, in 5 hours from now. So they were just kind of piecemealing it for them, so it didn't come all at once, and that was, that's extremely, that's initiative-driven stuff. For our fire guys, the preparation, the initiative, and again, just the foresight to see and be able to calculate how people were doing and what they were doing, and when to engage them at what point, and give them the pointers that they needed so we didn't have heat-related cases out there, was, again, that's top-level stuff. That's varsity-level tactics that can only be done through the level of training that you guys and Ross and your whole training team are putting them through every single day. When we see Lieutenant LaHaye on Facebook doing training sessions with his guys and going through first aid, Bruce Lee said it best, right? You train till you forget. And those boys are in that level, and those girls are, and they're executing that like the professionals that they are. And that's nothing less than what our community deserves. More important than that, our visitors deserve that too. So guys, thanks for that, and I hope they just keep it up. The Marine Band, the Marine Band it holds a very special place in any military man's career, woman's career. At any major function, the guy always comes up and it's like, oh, first of all, let's thank the band, right? And that seems kind of like just the natural next step. And that's what I'm essentially doing here, right? Because the way they did it on Saturday was every time I see that band play, they get better. And I just like seeing them so much. But, what I'd like to see at a certain point, and maybe we can discuss this on a later date, but is at a certain point, I think that band deserves an official level of recognition from this town on how they contribute here and how they bring all of those cultures together and throw them up on the stage, and everybody's looking at them with this awe that is just, you can't recreate that stuff. And those young men and women, those Marines deserve something like that. And then our community stepping up. Jerry and Tina were out there. I can't say it enough. Jerry and Tina were shuttling people. They came down to just ride around. And then they saw me, and then I was like, man, they got people on a golf cart. We usually have some folks that do that for us, and just life happens sometimes, and it couldn't happen this year. And the community did step up. It wasn't just Tina and Jerry. It was everybody that had a golf cart.
The
We're
Braves.
rolling down to the sands.
They were out there.
And you just throw them in. You got 2 seats, throw them in, and let's figure it out. And that was wonderful. And then finally to our visitors, and some of them aren't going to hear this, but people all the way from Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio.
Virginia.
I got a friend that came all the way down from Pennsylvania, and he plans his trip for this July 4th celebration that we have in Port Royal, and we only get to spend 4 or 5 hours together. But he comes down here because of how well it is for him and his family to see it and experience that, and how efficient it is. He's like, man, I don't have to worry about being in traffic for 5 hours. I'm out of here in 45 minutes, and I'm back at the hotel to rest up for my drive to get down to the Keys the next day. So to all our visitors, thank you for your patience. Thank you for your understanding. Thank you for being a part of Port Royal, even if it was just for one day, and experience it. And we hope that you do come back, because, July 4th is wonderful, but we have many, many events like that throughout the year that are just as good. And I'm going to challenge myself and say that sometimes better, but, man, Saturday was hard to beat. That was a tough day. That was hard to beat, man. I was smiling ear to ear, and I hope everybody else too.
Good job.
All right, Ms. Mary Beth.
Well, I'd have to echo everything that Mr. McGuire said, because I'm going to tell y'all, this is what community's about. Everybody jumping in and helping, that's a true community. The military didn't even hesitate when they sent that band over, and we love it. We're always teasing them like, you're singing for us because we can't sing. We'll look like we are, but you really are the ones that are singing. But it's just so much fun to be able to see your neighbors, see people from other communities that are here celebrating the 4th of July with us, because we are truly a community. And saying that, next week, this council will be in Greenville, South Carolina, for the Municipal Association, from the 15th to the 19th. And we'll be up there fighting for y'all. We're going to be fighting for all of us. We're going to go and talk to whoever we can talk to about this little money situation with the preserves. Anybody that's going to listen, I understand they're supposed to be the governor candidates up there, and I'm sure they're going to get an earful. But we're there fighting for y'all the whole time. And I hope y'all understand how much this town means to me, to this council. I've been here, this is probably my 30-something, someone sent me a thing on Facebook, or not on Facebook, said, how many 4th of Julys have you been through in Port Royal? Well, I've participated in 34, that I can really say. But thank y'all for being patient with people up and down your streets, being able to make sure the children are safe. I mean, just like Cat Bray said, you know, coming down their street, it's a bad curve. Thinking ahead of time and getting that road blocked off, and Chief, thank you for y'all getting it done. I think that's important, and it's, you know, us being proactive instead of reactive. And thank you all for everything that y'all do to help us make this community the best community there is in this state.
Absolutely. Councilman Noel.
I echo the sentiments of my colleagues up here. Just kudos to Brooke and for her leadership, staff, first responders. Everything was outstanding. The atmosphere, everyone conducted themselves. You know, we talk about civility. There was a civil environment, you know, an orderly environment. I heard the news and read some unfortunate situations neighboring our neighboring towns and so forth. But we had no disturbance and no activity, nothing of that nature here in Port Royal. Just the camaraderie, the family, the community. It was just amazing. The temperature was hot, but that did not deter the people. So again, you know, that's what just makes Port Royal what Port Royal is. And not only that, I can't tell you how many invitations I've gotten from neighbors that had cookouts and invited me to come eat. You know, and it's just that when your neighbors open their doors to you, and of course, saying what best, you know, how you best your fellowship, breaking bread together. And so, and I mean, I couldn't attend them all, but I did break off a piece of that big hog that they cooked out there. So again, just, you know, I want to thank everyone for, you know, making Port Royal the place that it is, where, as we said, the visitors like to come. I was at the farmers market on Saturday, helping out a friend, and literally, not figured, literally, I met 12 families that came from Virginia, and some from other places, from Ridgeland and all over, but people are coming here to Port Royal. And it was just, you know, and there's something about Port Royal, so, and I like that.
Yes, sir. Councilman Ashmore.
Yes, ditto.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, yeah, couldn't say it any better myself. So we live in a very special community. I'm just honored and blessed to be up here serving you guys. So thank you for that opportunity. With that, I'll entertain a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right.
It's a
Good
record.
night, Port